Hi, welcome to today's video. Today happens to be the 17th day of the 21-day self-esteem series that I'm doing. And today we are going to again talk about one of the problems that you have when you have an unhealthy self-esteem. So just if you're new, just to tell you that this entire video series that I'm doing, it is about, if you would relate to it, you will find it helpful if you're somebody who has an unhealthy self-esteem. Now, what is an unhealthy self-esteem? Unhealthy self-esteem is when you have a distorted or an unhealthy self-image of your own self. It's when you have an unhealthy relationship with your own self, when what you think and feel about yourself is not very healthy. So it's like when you have negative or limiting beliefs about your own self. So before jumping into today's topic, what we're going to talk about, so here are a few questions that I want to ask you so that you will know what this video is about. So first is that, do you feel that you isolate yourself? Like, do you think that you avoid meeting new people, or you just avoid interacting with people, maybe people who you already know? So is it that when you know that you have to go out, or you have to just be at your workplace, or at your college, or anywhere where you're going to meet people, is your first instinct that feeling of that, no, I don't want to be there, that is your first instinct to avoid that interaction? Is it that you go there but there's no happiness, or you do not really want to be there? Something inside you is against it. Something inside you doesn't want to do that. So the question is that, do you isolate yourself? Do you believe that you avoid meeting people? Do you want to be just by yourself? Do you want to be just left in your room all alone? Second, a follow-up question, that do you feel that you have a very constant feeling or constant thought that, what, nobody understands me? Do you feel this, that nobody gets me, nobody understands how I feel, nobody understands what I've been through, or nobody really understands me? As a result of which, do you feel alone? Do you have a constant feeling that alone? So maybe you have friends, maybe you meet with them, maybe you have good time with them, but after you're home, there's again this feeling that, what, okay, I had a good time with them, but they do not really know me deep, or they, like, I feel alone. If you believe that you isolate yourself, if you believe that you do not like out being there, or interacting with people, or just being in a social setting, then this video is for you, because we are going to talk about this problem, understand why this happens, and then definitely we're going to understand how you can solve this problem. So first is, let's understand it in deeper, like, what happens in your life when you have this. So first very big impact is that it affects your ability to form relationship. That is, it affects the way you form friendships. It affects the way you bond casually with people at your workplace, or how your equation is with people generally, people you're not very close to, but with people in generally. And as a result of which, because you fail to form a good because you fail to form a good relationship with people, you end up feeling lack of meaningful relationships in your life. And this is important because, if healthy the presence of healthy relationships in life is must to have a healthy and happy life. If you go to the statistics of what actually leads one to have a happy life, it's not money necessarily, but it's having healthy relationships. So because when you isolate yourself, the number one thing that happens is, it impacts your ability to form relationships. It impacts your ability to form meaningful and genuine relationships, one that you can count on in your hard times, or when you're not feeling good. Because you lack this, because it affects your ability to form such relationships, you end up feeling the lack of support in your life. As a result of which, you end up feeling alone, which also affects your mental health, because a healthy relationship is must in life. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a significant relationship with your partner. It also involves relationship with maybe just friends, having good friends that you can count on. So this is one of the things that happen. Now second, your social life gets affected. Definitely, when I say the thing that you isolate yourself, the number one, the it means that you are avoiding meeting people. It means that you are avoiding being part of a social setting, or just meeting people who you already know, who you are close with maybe. Because the first instinct is that I don't want to meet them. That if there's a possibility that we can cancel this thing, I want it to be cancelled. And we will discover why this happens. Why do you have this urge to to be isolated, to not go there, to not put yourself out there in front of people? Why does it feel so uncomfortable to just be? in the presence of somebody else. So your social life gets affected. And the worst thing is that, we are social animals. We have to interact with each other no matter what we do. All right. So the thing is that you even though you don't like being out there or interacting with people, you have to do that, right? One time or the other. The thing is that it becomes a very energy draining task for you. So you do attend things, you do meet people, but again you're doing it from it feels like a big task to you. So it again feels like a bit something that drains your energy. And overall and overall all of this affects your mental health, because meaningful relationships are important for a healthy and happy life. And one of the thing that happens is that when you have this tendency of isolating yourself, this is what you start to do. All right, you start avoiding people. uh, you fail to form meaningful relationships with people. And the more this happens, the more you do this, the more you isolate yourself, the more the urge to isolate yourself even comes in. Because it's like a momentum. The more you feed it, the stronger it gets, and the harder it gets to come back to the original point. So it's like you're moving in a direction which is not quite healthy, which is not actually serving you. And the more you do it, the more you practice these things, the stronger it gets, the the faster the speed gets that you're moving in that direction. So if this is happening with you and you're here, you have this awareness, you're knowing about this, you must know why it happens with you. And you must do something to ease this tendency, to stop having this urge to isolate yourself. Because isolation or feeling alone is not helping you, and it's definitely not making you happy either. So it's your choice. Do you want to be same, or or do you want to move towards a happy life, a life where you're not scared of other people, where you do not care that where it's not a hard task for you to put yourself out there in front of people or to just meet people. So let's move to the next part. Let's understand the why. Why does this happen? Why do you have this urge? So let me help you understand yourself better here. So see, when I say that you isolate yourself, the first thing is that the first reason why it happens is because you do not feel comfortable in your body. And now, when I say you do not feel comfortable in your own body, you're definitely not going to feel comfortable in the presence of other people also. That's just how it happens. Something that you cannot do with your own self, you will not be able to create it or do it even in front of other people. So how your relationship with yourself is, the foundation is always the self. So if you do not feel comfortable with yourself, you're not going to feel comfortable in with anybody else also. So that is the origin of it. You do not feel comfortable. Now, why do you not feel comfortable? The question will come. Because you do not feel comfortable because you feel that I'm not a good person, I don't have a good body, I don't look good, I'm not smart enough, I am dumb, I do not have a good personality, I look very scared and weak. So you have all these ideas about yourself. And when you have these ideas about yourself, which means you have a very distorted self image of your own self, you feel insecure. You have so many insecurities. There are so many things running in your mind which makes you feel like people can hurt you for that, people can pick up on you for these things, and hence you'll end up feeling hurt. So why do you feel uncomfortable in your body? You feel uncomfortable because you don't like who you are. The way you see yourself is distorted, and so you're scared that other people will also see me the same way. That's what happens. The way you see yourself, you start to feel that other people are also going to perceive me same way. And as humans, you do not want somebody to not like you, somebody to make you feel shame, somebody to look at you in an inferior way. You do not want somebody to reject you or to dislike you or to ignore you. So to not even be at that space where somebody can reject you or hurt you or uh, look at you in an inferior way, the decision you make is that, I will not be in their presence, I will not go and even meet them. That is the decision you make. So what we learned is, first is, it happens because you do not feel comfortable in your body. And why do you not feel comfortable in your body? Because you have a distorted self-image, because of which you feel insecure in your own self. And when you feel insecure, you feel scared of being out there because you believe that people will also see you the same way, that people will get to see the real you. And because you believe that the real me is not good enough, that the real me, my body doesn't look good enough, I'm not smart enough. When you believe in all of these things, you're scared that other people will also see me that way, and nobody wants to be perceived as small, as inferior. So you end up being in that situation. So you try your best to not be in that situation. That is, you avoid being in the presence of other people. That means you get this urge to isolate yourself. Because you know what, when you have a distorted image of your own self, there's shame. You feel shame about yourself. Like it's like, you feel ashamed of yourself. And the fear is that, you know what, if I meet other people, I will that feeling of shame will be reinforced in me. That is, I will again get triggered, or that feeling of shame will get reinforced. And why would I want to feel not good in myself again and again? We do not want to have that uh, you know undesirable feeling again and again. I do not want to feel bad in myself you know for long enough. If I have choice, I would like to not feel it. So that's it. That is why you isolate yourself, because you do not want to feel or reinforce your feeling of shame in yourself. So I want you to notice that the origin of it all is yourself, the self. It's not other people. Other people are not intentionally. Uh, Other people are not intentionally making you feel ashamed of yourself. They are not reinforcing your shame. The shame gets reinforced because you already have that shame in yourself. You feel that people will see how bad or how ugly or how weak your personality is, because you already believe that you have those things. So I want you to notice that the origin is yourself, and how you think and believe about yourself, and what you think and believe about yourself. So that this gives you an idea that the solution will also start with the self. It has got nothing to do with the other people, because other people are not predictable. You cannot depend on them. And when you have this tendency to isolate yourself, somewhere uh, somewhere you might feel that, it's because of other people, because other people are not good enough, because other people are not sensitive enough, they end up hurting me, and all of this. And you have these beliefs because your mind makes you feel it like real. And this fear that, other people will end up hurting me, they will end up picking up on my insecurities, and I will end up having conversations or interactions which will reinforce my shame, and I will end up feeling not good enough in myself again. And this fear is created, self created. How? Because when you already have certain limiting and negative self beliefs about yourself, there's something called a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what your mind does is, your mind searches for proof in your environment to reconfirm those beliefs. So suppose one of your self beliefs is that I'm not intelligent, or I'm dumb, or that people think I'm not smart enough, which basically at the core you think that you're not good enough, that you're not intelligent. So maybe you are, in a conversation with somebody, and somebody here gives you a feedback about your work or something that you do at work, at your workplace, and their intention is not bad. Their intention is good, that my feedback can help this person, they can do a better job in their project the next time. So here they are giving you a constructive criticism with an intention to help you. But how would your mind make you receive it? You will end up taking it, and then you will spiral over that comment over and over again. You will start to look at it like an insult, that this person intended to insult me. They wanted to, their intention was to show me how I'm not intelligent, how I'm not good enough, how I did not do a good job at my project. So you will end up taking their feedback or constructive criticism as an insult. And when you take it personally, you will end up feeling hurt. And that belief of yours, that first is that I'm not intelligent enough, it will get reinforced, reconfirmed. And you will also start to feel that, I shouldn't have been here, it was a mistake, other people are not good enough, they will hurt me, they will pick up on me. Hence you again feel even more insecure, and your tendency and your urge to isolate yourself gets even more strengthened. You'll try your best to isolate yourself even more the next time. So this fear is even self-created, because of your self-fulfilling prophecies and the limiting self-beliefs that you already have. So in your world, this fear is very much valid. In your world, you genuinely believe in this. You genuinely believe that, first is I'm not good enough, second that people are also not good enough, because they are going to pick up on me. People are bad. People have bad intentions. They make me feel unsafe. So the core root of it is that you feel unsafe being out there in the presence of other people, and hence to protect your own self, you make a decision that I'm going to isolate myself. I am better alone. But it doesn't help, because you end up feeling alone. And this thought that nobody understands me, it actually feeds loneliness into you. it feels like, a life where you're all alone. When in real, always remember that having healthy relationships with people is key to happiness in life. You're not alone, and you're not meant to live this life alone. But to have you be able to connect with other people, create healthy relationship with other people, any kind of relationship, be it friendships or just casual bonding, it will all happen only when you feel good in yourself. Because you will only be able to connect with other people when you feel good in yourself, when you feel secure enough in yourself. So let's move to the I think last part, which is how to solve this problem, or what can you do about this urge to isolate yourself. See, because the first problem, because the first reason why it happens is that you feel uncomfortable in your body. The first thing that you have to make sure is that you need to feel comfortable in your body. Now, how would that happen? For you to feel comfortable in your body, you need to accept yourself. And when I say comfortable in your body, what do I mean? When I say comfortable in your body, in the sense you feel secure enough. So there are no parts of you that you are hiding, that you're ashamed of, that you are scared somewhere, that what, if other person gets to know this thing about me, it's going to be the end of the world, or I'm very ashamed of this part of me, or I'm very ashamed of my body. Because as long as you remain ashamed or insecure about certain things about your own self or certain parts of your body, you're not going to feel comfortable in your own body. And when you do not feel comfortable in your body, you're not going to feel comfortable in others presence also. So first is you have to be comfortable in your body. That is, you need to feel secure in your own self. And how do you do that? You accept yourself. And how do you accept yourself? See, acceptance in itself is a process wherein I think it's easy to say accept yourself, or it's easy to affirm that I accept myself. But how do you genuinely accept yourself? So, see, I believe that acceptance at the end of the day is a decision that you can only make when you have processed, or when you have practiced these two things. First is when you understand yourself deeply. So, you need to understand yourself deeply. You need to uh, understand yourself, because understanding it is understanding that kicks out judgment and blaming yourself. Because acceptance cannot happen as long as you're blaming your own self, as long as you're questioning yourself or judging yourself. So first is understanding needs to happen. You need to understand yourself deeply, which involves you need to acknowledge your own story. You need to acknowledge where you come from. You cannot look at yourself and compare yourself with others and then judge yourself. As long as that is happening, acceptance is not going to happen. Second thing that needs to happen for you to accept yourself is forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive yourself for doing the things you did, for being the way you were. Because unless you forgive yourself, you are going to keep blaming or keep questioning or keep feeling pity for your own self. But when you forgive, you actually let go of all the judges that you are holding against your own self, all the strong negative emotions that you have against your own self. And I have made a separate video upon this acceptance of the self. How do you do it? I have it. I have uploaded it in the same series. You can watch it. So how do you solve this problem? First is you need to feel comfortable in your body. For that, you need to accept yourself. And ultimately, the goal is that you need to have a healthy relationship with your own self. As I said, that for you to be able to create a relationship with other people, you need to feel good enough in your body. That is, you need to feel healthy. You need to feel comfortable, confident in your own self. So let's explore what does healthy relationship mean with yourself will look like. First is when you have a healthy relationship with yourself, you develop self-awareness. Now, when I say self-awareness, it means that you connect with your own self, that you find out what are your values of life, what is something that really matters to you, what is something, what do you like, what are your dislikes, what are the things you're good at, and what are some things that you're not good at. And it's also accepting that I'm a human being. I do not have to be perfect. I do not have to aim perfection. So there will be things that I will be good at, and at the same time, there will be stuffs I will suck at, I'll not be good at. So it is accepting that a healthy relationship doesn't mean that you become perfect, that you get rid of all your insecurities. No. A healthy relationship means accepting yourself with everything that you are, with all that you are. And unless you accept yourself, nobody else is going to accept you. And that is why, if you're somebody who hasn't accepted yourself, you are only going to form relationships which are toxic. So for you to form healthy relationships, this needs to happen. You need to have a healthy relationship with your own self. Only then you would be able to make healthy choice for yourself in the relationship too. So first is you need to have uh, you need to gain self-awareness about your own self. You need to develop your self-awareness, that you need to connect with your own self, all right, and find out more about your own self. Next is, you need to be understanding and compassionate towards your own self. So instead of being very critical or being very quick to question yourself, blame yourself, or just being harsh on your own self, you would, when you have a healthy relationship, you would come from a place of understanding and compassion. You would give yourself the chance to make mistakes. You would be okay with making mistakes, because then you realize that, what, I do not have to be perfect, because perfection has nothing to be perfection has nothing to do with being accepted or being liked, because then your desire to be accepted and liked would go away. It would not be that desperate that I want other people to like me, to accept me. Hence you will be okay with making mistakes, which means that you will be okay to offer yourself so many opportunities in life. You will not be scared of making mistakes. That is, you will actually be able to explore yourself, to expand your potential, which will definitely lead you to make even more empowering decisions in your career or relationships, in your life overall. And the last part, you will be able to make decisions from a place of self love, that love for your own self, instead of from a place of fear or scarcity, or from a need to prove yourself, that what, I need to prove my worth to them, hence I will do this. So what happens is, when you have a relationship of where you when you have a relationship with yourself which is unhealthy, you come from a place of proving your self-worth. So in that what happens is, you start to you have an unhealthy self-esteem. So you start to feel that, what, right now I'm not good enough, right now I'm not being accepted, I'm not being validated. So to have this acceptance, so to gain this validation from this other person, what do I need to do? I need to find out what is something that will make that person feel good about myself, what is something that will make this person respect me. So now my life is going to become about them. I'm going to take decisions in my life, I'm going to choose a career that is going to satisfy this person, that is going to make this person feel good about myself. So it's not about what do I want, what is going to make me feel good about myself. I'm more concerned about what is something that will make this person respect me, that will make this person validate me. So all your decisions are going to come from a place of proving your worth to others, which is not going to be worth it, because even if you achieve it, it would be something that is not aligned with you. So it will be, maybe it will be work, or it will be an achievement where maybe you're doing work, but internally you're not even feeling good about it. It means nothing to you. So that is the difference that happens. So when you develop a healthy relationship with yourself, you stop, or you do not feel this need to prove your worth to others. You rather come from a place that, okay, what is something that aligns with me, what is something that I truly want. And because you believe in yourself, you start to take actions in life wherein your belief in yourself shows up, which comes from a place of your self belief. So that is what a healthy relationship with yourself looks like, and why it is so important. Because when you cultivate a healthy relationship with your own self, when you stop focusing on your insecurities so much, when you stop making your insecurities the center theme of your universe. Because when you have an unhealthy self-esteem, your insecurities, or how you're not good enough, or your weaknesses, it becomes everything, it becomes your entire world, it becomes the center of your universe. That is where your entire focus goes, when in reality everybody has insecurities. If there are things that all of us are not good at, we all have certain weaknesses. But the only difference is, when you have an unhealthy relationship with your own self, that becomes the center of your world. All your attention is on your insecurities, and your only aim remains, goal is to get rid of them. Because you believe perfection exists, because you believe that I need to be perfect to be accepted, to be okay, to be happy in this life. When in reality, that is not true. A person who has a healthy relationship with themselves, they also have insecurities. It's just that they've accepted it. They have made it just one part of their world. It's not the center part of their world. In fact, the center is the foundation of self-love. The fact that they accept the fact that they say that, what, I accept myself, this is who I am, I know myself. Self-awareness, self-acceptance, understanding, compassion, all of those things become the center of the world. And insecurities or weaknesses just remain certain parts of it. So that's the only difference. People are same. How they are also same. It's just where their attention is. How they're perceiving themselves as. That makes a difference. I hope this explains it to you clearly, like why creating a healthy relationship with your own self is the solution to this problem, that where you isolate yourself, where you feel this urge to not meet people, to not be in the presence of other people. And if you're somebody who feels like this, who feels like this, who feels like, you know what, uh, I don't prefer to be in the presence of other people, or I always try to avoid meeting people, as a result of which I feel alone, and I have a very strong or constant thought that nobody understands me. I keep feeling internally that, you know what, nobody really gets me. It's just me. I'm the only one. They will never understand me. If you feel this way and you want to work on this, you want to be at a place where you have a healthy relationship with yourself, where you feel good about yourself, so that you can have a happy and healthier life, then you can book your clarity call with me. The first first 60 minute, I am offering first 60-minute clarity call for free at present. So if you want it, you want to book your call, you can just DM me coaching and I'll send you the link. And so yes, tomorrow will be the 18th day and I'll stop today's video here. This is enough for the problem that we took upon today. And yeah, so we will come tomorrow and I will explore or talk about another topic in depth tomorrow. So I'll meet you tomorrow.